My intuition is telling me there'll be better days.
What's up, fam? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Natalie and this is my channel, Music to Makeup. So today's video is going to be about settling for less than you deserve in a relationship. And this was inspired by one of my best friends. And I was just really thinking about it. It's like, why do we settle for less than we deserve in romantic relationships, but not in other areas of our lives? So this video is going to talk about, first I'm going to talk about some signs that you or a friend may be settling for less than they deserve. Then we're going to talk about why we do this. And then we're going to talk about how tips and how you can overcome this and just really determine your self-worth. So if you would like to hear those things, then keep on watching. And if you do like this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. So my friend is drop dead gorgeous. She is just getting out of a marriage, and the person that she's involved with is someone she's known for a long time, and they, so they have history. This guy, she starts dating him, and he pulls, I'm sure you may have heard this before, but I'm not looking for anything serious. We should just be friends. After you have already been having sex with this person and they want all the benefits of a relationship, but they don't want a relationship and refuse to give it any sort of title. I thought I had taught her better, but she goes, okay, so we can be friends, and agrees with it, when that's not what she wants. She wants a relationship, and she wants an exclusive relationship, but she's afraid to ask for it, and she's willing to settle for less than she deserves. Alright, I'm going to talk about some signs that you're settling for less than you deserve in a relationship. So the first one is the relationship brings you down and your significant other doesn't inspire you to do your best. They may be too focused on their own needs to be supportive of you. So a healthy relationship should make you want to be the best version of yourself and motivate you to, follow your goals and, Okay, number 2, you feel you have to change yourself, your values, goals, or dreams for your partner to accept you. And this is what my friend did. She, she values an exclusive relationship. She values loyalty, but she felt she had to change her values for that person to accept her. So number 3, you are in an emotionally or physically abusive relationship. You may hide this because of shame or codependency. You put their needs before your own. And, emotionally abusive is so many different things. By, him kind of playing around with her, because she's asked him, multiple times since then, what are we together or are we not? And he just kind of goes around the question without ever answering it. And that's manipulation, and that's emotionally abusive. Okay, number 4, you've been cheated on repeatedly and keep giving him more chances even though they have proven to be untrustworthy. The last serious relationship that I was in, where I was engaged, and I found out he was cheating on me, my self-esteem was so low that I was still begging him to come back even though he was still with her. Yeah. Number 5, you sacrifice too much. Since he is unable to compromise, you morph into someone else to accommodate his expectations, needs, or desires. And when I was younger, that's so true. I would just like morph into anyone I thought he wanted or needed. And I wasn't being my authentic self because I was afraid if I showed my authentic self, he would reject me. Okay, so why do we settle? Why do we, accept less than we deserve in romantic relationships and not other relationships? And I thought of like a really great metaphor for this. So like, my friend was willing to say, okay, we can be friends, and willing to settle for less. But if, she were to get called into the manager's office and they were like, okay, we're going to start paying you $5 an hour, but you're still going to have all the same job responsibilities. She would be like, no, fuck you, I quit. But because she knows she deserves more. But why are we willing to accept less in romantic relationships? And so here are some reasons. We believe we are unlovable. They are relieved when someone has feelings for them, even if that person isn't good for them or treats them like a second choice. And, a lot of this comes down to a deep-seated belief that you are not worthy of love. And that's kind of the core of the problem and one of the things that needs to be changed in order for you to overcome settling for less. They ignore red flags because they don't think they have the right to be picky. And another thing my friend does too, if she would start dating someone, she would always wonder if he liked her. Like, oh, I wonder if he likes me. I hope he likes me. And I'm like, girl, you need to be asking yourself, do I like him? Am I compatible? Is he compatible with me? Do I think he'll be able to give me what I need? When you settle for less, you're always wondering, do they like me? And always think that, you're not pretty enough, you're not fun enough, whatever it may be. Another reason is they haven't grown to love themselves yet. They are uncomfortable with themselves and can't be alone. They need someone else to make them feel like they have value. Our society has conditioned women to believe that if they do not have a man, if they're not in a relationship, that they have no value. And this is such a false and unhealthy belief. And it's so frustrating because there's all these amazing, talented, wonderful women who are wasting their potential on these men who don't deserve it. They would get mad if someone was treating a friend like this. They see their friend's worth, but not their own. And, we're our worst critics. Think about the way your self-talk and the things you say to yourself. Would you ever say that to one of your friends? And like it says, if one of your friends was being treated, ask yourself, imagine that your friend was being treated the way this person is treating you. What would you tell your friend? So like I said, this comes down to a lack of self-love and self-esteem. And when you're insecure, you're not going to leave a toxic relationship until you have another one lined up. Or if they end it and you didn't see it coming, you frantically search for a new one because you are so afraid to be alone. So how can you overcome this? Because I definitely settled for less for a long time. But I've gotten to the point where I've worked on these things and did the things I'm going to talk about, and I am not going to settle now. So, the first thing is gain self-awareness. You need to really think about what you want and if that person can meet your emotional and personal needs. Make a list of 10 things you need from a partner, only 2 of them being physical. And then make 4 of them non-negotiable. And so when, say you meet someone new, writing it down is like so important, because then you're able, you don't like ignore the red flags. You have something to compare it to, because as I'm sure you all know very well, that first feeling and, you know, kind of infatuation can make you ignore red flags and ignore, you know, potential issues. Number 2, accept the fact that being single is normal. It is so normal, and it has been so life-changing for me. I did a video about the pressure to be, like, society's pressure to be in a relationship, and, you know, how it's false, and how there's nothing wrong with being single. So if you're interested, I'll put a link up here. You are not defined by your relationship status. Number 3, and this was probably what was most pivotal for me. Focus on finding your passions rather than finding a soulmate. Instead of searching for someone you love, search for something you love. I had started to, like, kind of get into makeup before my engagement ended, but when it did, like, I was so broken. That was rock bottom for me, and I had been making, you know, poor relationship choices, or poor choices in men for so long that I finally hit rock bottom. And makeup played a huge part in helping me get out of that. It was something I was passionate about, and it gave me something to, like, put my focus on that was positive. I really kind of just, like, immersed myself in learning and teaching myself. And the more I learned, the more passionate about it I became. And for the first time, you know, I started doing something just for myself that made me happy. And, you know, it led me to creating a goal of starting a YouTube channel and following through with it. That's, you know, something else, like setting goals. Focus on yourself instead of someone else. Number 4, set boundaries and don't compromise your values. Figure out what your core beliefs are and stand by them. Also, be more assertive and tell or ask for what you need in a relationship. Don't be, like, passive aggressive and be like, they didn't call and blah, blah, blah. Be like, listen, I need you to call me every day at this time. Ask for what you need and set boundaries. So figure out your core beliefs. I made a list of my values, and I think it's important for everyone to do that. And I also made a list of my boundaries. I actually made a video about creating personal boundaries. I'll link that as well. But when I was younger, I didn't set boundaries, and I accepted this treatment that was beyond less than what I deserved. What you permit, you promote. So if you allow someone to treat you like a second choice, they're going to continue to do it because there are no negative consequences. Use positive self-talk and challenge negative thoughts. And one way I did this, because, you know, negative self-talk is a habit. It's something that's, like, so ingrained in us. So we need something dramatic to help us shift our mindset. So positive affirmations were life-changing for me, and how I changed my negative self-talk to I hate you, you're fucking worthless, you're fucking ugly, you know, to I'm beautiful, intelligent, and I exude beauty and grace. So I have, you know, lists of affirmations all over my apartment. You know, it's going to feel really unnatural at first, but once you start doing it for so long, you actually start to believe it. Alright guys, so yeah, I just thought this was, like, a really important topic that I wanted to talk about and hopefully help, you know, anyone who is also settling for less in their romantic relationships, because I know I definitely was one of those people. Alright, let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments, and I love you guys. I will see you in my next video.